Hello everyone. It's James again. And today in this video, I wanted to answer a question that was asked by one of my subscribers named Tanya. Tanya asked, how do I start the self-work? How do I make myself stronger so I don't find myself in these situations again? First off, I want to thank you, Tanya, for the question. And thank you for watching my previous videos. I do hope you have found them helpful to you and your situation. And secondly, I'm very sorry you were in a narcissistically abusive situation to where you would be going through such life hardships. Hardships I and many of us here are sadly all too familiar with. To answer your questions, Tanya, it will require many layers. As narcissistic abuse is multi-layered. There's a lot going on when the narcissist is abusing you. They are stripping you of your identity one bit at a time. They ruin your friendships you may have. They trap you financially. They rip your self-esteem to shreds. They ruin your health mentally and physically. They get you to question reality and your own sanity. And they might also abuse you physically. So there is a lot going on there. And rebuilding oneself is multi-layered, just like the abuse is. And isn't something that happens overnight. So the first thing, Tanya, you or anyone out there will need to do is admit to yourself what happened. Don't question in your mind something someone might have said. Don't get caught up in trying to pick apart certain situations. And if certain things said or done were really abusive or not. Just know you were abused. And if a thought comes up in your mind about your abuser, no matter it be family such as parents, or someone you had a romantic relationship with, error on the side of, they must have said it or done it to hurt you. No need to second guess. Because you see, when we question certain things about our abuse, it keeps us stuck in this state of constantly putting off our own healing. Is it good to relook at things with a healthy mind? So we will recognize the signs in future dealings with people. Yes. It sure is. But if we haven't gotten to a reasonable place of mental health, such things might make us second guess ourselves to the point we can't move forward with our own healing. So please, anyone out there, if you think for a second you grew up in a narcissistically abusive home, or you dated or were married to a narcissist, or your boss is a narcissist, or someone you thought was a best friend is a narcissist, they probably are. They probably are, because some of these crazy stories that I and others have relayed match your experiences. And I'm sorry to say, narcissists, psychopaths, and other toxic people are the ones that do these types of horrible things. And these are the people you should avoid at all costs. So if you are seeing these traits in those you've dealt with, you're probably right. And you were being abused. And the key with coming to terms with that fact you were abused is, don't let yourself in the future downplay it. One day, we might think we were abused. And then a month later we convince ourselves it wasn't that bad. When we do that, we don't take our self-recovery as serious as we need to take it. And before you know it, we end up in the same kind of situation we were in before. Or this time much worse. So take the fact that you were abused seriously. And take your recovery just as seriously. One part of the question you asked, Tanya, was, how do I make myself stronger so I don't find myself in these situations again? Well, here's the reality of things. We live in a very cold, predatory world. Are there good people in this world? Yes. There sure are. But is our planet ruled by mainly evil people? I would have to say yes. And because of that, the rise on predatory behavior will go up and up and up. But this is something deep down inside good parents know. And what they do is tell their children, if something goes wrong out there in this horrible, cruel world, you can come back home. And you can always depend on the fact your family will never lie to you or let you down. So when this young child Now young adult is out there in the world, dealing with such a mixed bag of different types of people. Some good and some bad. They know they can go home and decompress and relax when they are around their family. They know they can speak freely and their words won't be twisted or used against them. It's like a safe zone. They know because smart parents teach their kids how to interact in the world, and how some people will be manipulative. Now they might not know the term narcissism, or narcissistic personality disorder, but they will tell their kids. Don't tell everyone your business. Don't hang around this person or that person. They will give them basic things to do and not do, and things to look out for. But at the end of the day, all of these things, personal things they are holding deep inside, because they know it's not safe to share it with a stranger, they will share with their trusted family. Well, Tanya, if you were raised in a narcissistically abusive home, forgive me if I'm wrong about that. But if you were, that safe zone doesn't exist. And one needs to come to terms with the fact this safe zone that some of those out there, that are blessed to have great parents, doesn't exist for you and doesn't exist for me and many others. This will help you see it for what it is. So you're not chasing a dream, or trying to recreate this in others. One thing I used to do is I would quickly think of new buddies or friends of mine as brothers. And what I didn't understand, even if they were good people and nice, if they had a family, that family would come way before me. And those are the people they see as brother and sister, not me. But here I was seeing these people for more than what they were. They were friends. Some for the long term, some for the moment. And many were narcissists I had to go no contact with because I picked bad friends because I wanted to have that family relationship I never got to experience growing up. Once I realized, hey, I can't change the fact I grew up in a narcissistically abusive home, with people I couldn't rely on. And I don't have family. I can't go home and plop on the sofa and just tell my mom all about my hard week, and eat a good home-cooked meal, and laugh a little bit. I had to come to terms with this, so I wouldn't desperately look for it in others. Desperately looking for a mother I never had, or a father that died I believe as a result to my mother's narcissistic abuse, or a brother or sister I wish I grew up with. Now because I didn't have this, does this mean I can't, or you can't be happy? Not at all. Happiness is there for you, me, or anyone else that's listening. You just might need to go about it differently and more carefully than someone that grew up that has safety nets all around them via their good family of origin. I made myself face the fact that I have to look out for me. And I don't have a family home team that will rally behind me when the chips are down in this predatory world we live in. Now, by realizing these things, does it automatically make things better? No way. Not by a long shot. There are oftentimes depressing moments, where you might feel like you can't get out of bed, where you wish your mom or dad will call you with some great words that will cheer you up, or you were dating someone that was positive and wonderful, but you wake up to find yourself alone. And when you have days like this, or weeks, or months, be prepared. What do I mean by being prepared? And why is being prepared so helpful? Well, if you are down for a variety of reasons, and a charming narcissist enters your bubble, you might allow them in, because of how they make you feel in the beginning. Because as I've mentioned before, the love bombing takes away the complex post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. It makes our brain tingle, and our cornflakes taste extra good in the morning. But if we aren't desperate, we can see a bit more clearly what's going on. Because the truth is, anyone abused or not abused might fall for this kind of love bombing. But it will hit us more hard because of our circumstances. And just like you asked about how not to end up in these types of situations again. Well, if you're at a weak point, Because reality is sinking in about what you've been through. All it takes is a narcissist to love bomb you to reel you in. And that's why staying prepared and ready is so important. So what does that look like? Well, it might differ from person to person. But what I do is I will have certain songs, motivational recordings, or recordings of someone reading scripture that will hit me right where I need it the most. And I have it set up like a bug-out bag. I know a bad day is going to come. I know for whatever reason I'm going to have a low day. And I don't want that to turn into a low week or month. Because if I'm low, I'm ripe for the picking for another narcissist to enter my life. And because I know, no matter what I do, I will have those days that come around where I'm in a deep funk. And to minimalize it, I have a bug-out bag of things I listen to in my car on the way to work. Or in my car on the way home. And maybe first thing in the morning. Or it's playing in the bathroom while I'm taking a shower. Because I know that complex post-traumatic stress disorder is real. And those of us that have dealt with narcissist or grew up in a narcissistically abusive home have it. And will probably have it in some form or another for our entire lives. Even if it's small. And I say that because, how can someone that feels like an empath does just get over that their mother never loved them? Or their father is dead? Or their siblings are demons incapable of love? And most of their friends have done them wrong. And one person after another they chose to have a relationship with went out of their way to destroy them. Even when you're at your best, it's there. We long for the love of a mother or father. God understands. And He sees it. And He's crying right along with us. He knows our pain. And know He's stepping in to be our parent we missed out on having. But He also knows we hurt because we long for the love of our earth parents. Even the strongest, most well-recovered narcissistic abuse survivor will have a piece in their heart that's missing as a result of their upbringing and missing out on their parents' love. That's just honesty. It's easy to puff one's chest out and say, I'm recovered. I don't need anyone. But all that's doing is fooling oneself. And then when that depression finally hits, and there's no narcissistic abuse bug-out bag ready, you might find yourself in a downward spiral. So find your healing in the truth about your situation. And be real with yourself about what happened and what you are needing to do about it going forward. And I will tell you, the slightest thing can and will knock you from that high feeling of recovery to you not wanting to get out of bed. There have been many times where I had a great 3 or 4 months. I was eating well, taking great care of myself, sleeping great, and feeling energized. Then someone at work or in my personal life said something that hurt me so bad in my gut. I felt like I was paralyzed. All of the CPTSD symptoms came right back. And all the hard work and progress I made was all undone. All in 1 second. And that's all it takes. 1 second. And we are back to square one. And when we are back at square one, what are we? We are vulnerable. Very vulnerable. So we need something in that bug-out bag that will speak to our problem. If our problem is listening to those that down us, find a good motivational speaker that might have an audio file you can listen to in your car on the way home or the way to work. If the weekend comes and you have it in your heart you're going to accomplish this or that goal, play something from the moment you wake up that will start your day, that will make you feel the correct things, that will allow you to get on track. Now I want you to remember something. You know how narcissists use music and song lyrics to get to us. They might send us a poem or a song when they first meet us. This is because we are empaths and these types of things trigger strong emotions in us. Well, I have news for you. You can use this very thing about you to help and aid in your recovery. Having a bug-out bag with positive material you can read, listen to or watch can help prevent you from falling into a hole of desperation and depression. And it can help get you out of this hole if you find yourself in one. The next thing, Tanya and anyone else that is listening. Please. And I will say again, please. Find yourself and your identity. And guard it. Guard it well. When you are sure of yourself. And your beliefs. And you don't let others walk all over you and your beliefs. Narcissists want nothing to do with such people. Because they know there's no supply there. None at all. Now when I say, don't let others walk over you and your beliefs. You don't have to debate or get into bad situations with people if they are behaving badly. You can just walk away and no longer engage them. Nor answer their calls or texts. Narcissists will get the hint you see them for what they are. And you aren't someone that can be tricked. And that you have a strong sense of self. And someone that has a strong sense of self is a lot harder for the narcissist to manipulate. Not impossible, but a lot harder. And usually, not always, but usually the narcissist will move on to an easier target. And if you do find yourself in a relationship with someone you find to be nice, then later on they're not. Even if it's several years later. Just get up and leave. Don't let time spent keep you there. This is where seeing a situation for what it really is so important. Second guessing and believing the brainwashing can put us in a bad situation. But once we see clearly, don't let yourself fall back into the fog of disbelief. All because of time spent or time wasted. This comes back to having a bug-out bag. If you've found a message that helps you get that feeling inside to leave a bad situation, have it ready to play in your car if you've come to the realization you might be in such a relationship. And this is so important if you have no one to talk to, and no one to trust. You essentially have to bounce this off yourself. And listen to someone on audio or video as if they are speaking directly to you and your problem. Also, read scripture. Have certain parts highlighted and ready to go. Have an audio file of this passage you can listen to in your car. If you are a believer, having an audio version of the King James Bible in your home and car is the best weapon you can have. Because there's so much from the beginning to end that will speak to you about the problems you're facing. And the problems our world is currently facing. And how you are to keep away from such people. And when you hear the Most High God say it, it takes on an entirely new meaning. What? Wait a minute. I don't have to just let myself sit here and have a narcissist abuse me to death. I can kick them to the curb and keep moving on with my life. And that's the right thing for me to do. Yes, it is the right thing for you to do. No matter if you've known them 6 months or 60 years. You must develop in you the ability to leave at any time you see someone is toxic. And when you do it once, trust me, it gets easier and easier. It's like a muscle you've never exercised before. And before you know it, with a lot of training and the right information, it's autopilot. And you have your bug-out bag for the aftermath too. Because though we might feel great that we got rid of a toxic person in our life, the next day we might not feel so good. We might feel guilty, sad, and a bunch of emotions that might make it hard to get out of bed and function. But when we are reading or listening to information telling us what we did was right, now get up and go out there to become the most successful you that you can become. Those same chemicals released during the love bombing stage are released. That happy feeling that makes you feel good about yourself. And the choices that you made. We just have to realize we are going to fail. And sometimes fail hard. And we don't have a sofa to plop down at. Our parents' house to feel safe and loved. Because trust me, if you think those that grew up in normal homes never have bad days, you're kidding yourself. They do. They just have a bug-out bag to help lift them up. And that's going to their parents' house for food and a talk. Or they will go out to the movies and dinner with their brother or sister. Or they will stay a week with their brother or sister. Have you ever heard where people say, "I'm going over to spend the weekend with my sister or brother"? They are doing this probably because they have a good relationship with one another. But it's a way to stay grounded in this predatory world. They are spending time with someone that loves them, that will help recharge their batteries as they will do for them in return. And that's perfectly normal and healthy. Well, if you don't have that, you're deficient as I am. So you have to create things that will help you out during these times that you know for a fact will come. Because they come for everyone. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. So we must be prepared. And knowing this will allow you to plop down on the sofa of the Most High God and relax. You can speak to Him and He will fill your heart and guide you right. Also keep a bug-out bag of good food in your fridge if you can. I've noticed when I'm down, my eating goes down. So when you're listening or reading the material that's helping you through a tough time, make sure you're eating 3 good square meals a day, with a couple of healthy snacks in between. This will also keep your energy up and allow you to think clearly and rationally. If you're malnourished, your thinking will be cloudy and spaced out, and you will fall deeper and deeper into your life funk. So put it on your schedule to go grocery shopping on a certain day every week or every other week. And pick out foods that will work with your body and mind. And that will make you feel good and healthy. And strong. A strong mind, a strong body. A strong body, a strong mind. That goes to the next part of things. Get exercise. Even if it's walking around your block. Though we must take our time in getting back to a good healthy state mentally. And with dealing with people and not getting taken for a ride again. We must not ignore our bodies. If our bodies fail, all of this good self-work on our emotions and mental state will fall to pieces. So get exercise. And please, I implore you, please, find your life purpose. Narcissists love to target very talented, bright, good-hearted people. So besides being good-hearted, I'm sure you and others out there are talented. So what is that talent? What classes have you been putting off? What groups have you put off joining to further your skills? What promise did you not keep to yourself about something you deep down inside wanted to achieve? Because when you find your life purpose, and you don't let it go, not for a narcissist or anyone else, and you work and strive, and climb towards that life purpose, you develop strength. You develop life wisdom about yourself and the world you live in. And the Most High God is speaking to you along the way. Listen to Him. Listen to what He's telling your gut. Move right instead of left. Get away from that person because that person will try to mess up your life purpose and your goals. Be friendly with that person, but don't be afraid to walk away if they display bad behavior that conflicts with your life and your life purpose. And gain wisdom from the interaction. And dig into your bug-out bag to keep yourself charged and motivated to reach your life goals. And never stop. Never quit and keep on going. And if you reach that goal, set another goal. You're one of the Most High God's children. You're not weak. You're strong. You have God on your side and you can't lose. The devil will send someone your way to say something slick and mean, because he knows how to get to you. But plop down on the Most High's sofa and speak to Him. He will listen. The devil took away your parents, or your friends or other loved ones. But you have something and someone more powerful. When you read His word, or you hear someone speak it, you will shake inside. Because you know you were destined to be someone great. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. The Most High God doesn't give you talents and skills to rot away unused, and for you to die without reaching your life purpose. However, the devil, Lucifer himself, would love nothing more to see you die in pain without obtaining what the Most High God has set up for you to obtain. And before you know it, after you've been riding high for a few months, and doing good, someone you thought was a friend, For no reason at all says something horrible to you. And I have news for you. That's the devil. That is the devil. He knows what it's going to do to you. It's going to hurt you to the point where you feel like you can't move or think. And when that happens, you become desperate. And when you become desperate, the devil will send another narcissist in your life to charm you and ensnare you, and prime you for more abuse. That's the cycle. That's the trick. And when you know the cycle and the trick, and you know that trick is coming, remember, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. You will have your bug out bag to go to with all you need to pull out of this tough time, and will allow you to climb back on your life horse, and ride to achieve your life goals. And if you get taken down and out for a few days, but you're able to pull yourself out of it and you feel stronger on the fourth day, feel proud of yourself. Feel proud you were able to turn a negative into a positive. So what if it took you 3 days? Maybe before you started getting healthy it might have taken 2 weeks. The shorter the times you feel down because of the things we've been through, the less time you are vulnerable to another narcissist. And if you end up with one, and you are able to get away again, don't down yourself. Wow. This time I got away in 4 months instead of 4 years. I'm so happy I noticed what was happening and was strong enough to get away. Sadly, no matter what we do, we might still encounter narcissists. But it's what we do when we realize what they are that counts. And strength not only comes in detecting them, but it also comes in leaving them. Once we realize they are what they are. Tanya, I have no doubt you have a strong life purpose. You have talents, loves, and great things about you that make you feel good inside. And all the rest of you. The same applies. Go out there and find your life purpose with all of the passion you have. And guard these passions and loves dearly. Because we have to face it. There are evil people. There are good people too. But there are evil people in the world. And the more we put our bug out bag into action and sidestep toxic people, because we know our lives, and our life purpose is too important to risk dealing with such an individual, the better we will get at it. There will always be room for improvement. But we can get pretty good at this thing we call life. And navigating away from those that want to do evil to us. Well, Tanya, I hope that helps. Oh, and keep in mind, your bug out bag will be special to you. It will be what works for you. So take some time and start to develop a plan of action on how to take care of yourself when bad things happen. So you can keep going without much of a trouble on your journey to self-healing. And if you stumble and fall, it's okay. I still stumble and fall too, as all of us do. But what matters is that we keep getting up. I would love to hear others' comments on this topic. Please feel free to share. Because like I always say, knowledge and wisdom is power. The more we know, the more we can lead happy and healthy lives. Until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.